this then. Let's go in game and let's see what's going to happen as we do have a third game between these two players in this PvT. To the bottom right hand side of the map, our red Terran player. Give it up for KeeN. And to the top left hand side, our blue Protoss player is Classic. You gotta be concerned when a Protoss player is entering a base trade with a Terran. You've got to be slightly concerned. But this time it worked out completely fine. Classic made it work wonderfully. And he wins game number 2 to tie the series at 1 apiece. Obviously we missed game 1, so we don't quite know what happened in that game. But I mean, these guys, you can very easily see how it could have gone in KeeN's favor. You know, not losing that first medevac could change things a bit. You know, slight engagement differences. You can see how KeeN won a game, I think, in this series so far. So, intrigued to see what happens in game 3 as, well, Classic goes for the very early probe scout. Does not want to be caught off guard by any Terran shenanigans, proxies, or double gas one base plays or anything. Wants to figure this out nice and early on. Bjorn is Bjorn. So, again, just to reiterate the format of this event, we've got the 2 qualifiers which qualify 4 players into the Season 1 finals, which takes place next week. And then we will also have the 12 invites. 4 invites are going to be based from OSC ranking and players who want to play from the OSC ranking that are probably not Korean, I guess. We're going to do it by like non-Korean regions. I think that's the only kind of thing we need to kind of satisfy, I suppose. So we'll be doing that. And then the rest of the invites will come from WardiTV weekly performances. So from weeklies 1 to 5, we do have winners Sue, Innovation, Zest, and Bjorn. We will invite all of those players to the WardiTV weekly Season 1 finals. And then we'll also probably be inviting some other players who placed highly multiple times, who maybe got top 2. We'll probably invite second place finishers first, and then we'll look and see top 3 and 4 who else finished highly multiple times. We didn't send out all the invites before the qualifiers, because if players wanted to play for the $50, well, I wasn't going to say no if Innovation wanted to qualify through the qualifier instead. You know, if he wants to give us some more Innovation games and let's cast more Innovation, that's fine by me. And yes, it's maybe a bit of a greedy option instead of kind of making a bit more sense, but I don't mind if the qualifiers are open because we still go back to the WardiTV Weekly, which is this is all about anyways, right? It's all about the WardiTV Weekly. It's the WardiTV Weekly Season Finals. So we'd go back to the WardiTV Weekly for invites anyways. We set up here, Reaper to the far left-hand side, and move a ship core out the front from Classic, just patrolling backwards and forwards right now. So MSC just patrolling back and forth, and well, Twilight Council is dropping down in the main base. So Twilight dropping down in the main, Robo on the way up, as we mentioned before, and the warp gate is about halfway done on the cyber core. So really nothing too crazy, just nice standard, super standard play to go in towards Blink early on and to play out, well, so many different possibilities on how you play out the mid game from this point. So not really worth mentioning too much of because it's just a prediction game for now. I imagine though it's just going to be Blink, Observer, a nice easy way to take in, to go in towards the free bases and to just defend initially. Now we do see this Viking on the way out from KeeN, so it's going to be about halfway done here. Widowmine is moving around a little bit and looking to see where it can go. Actually going to come into the top side of this base. So Widowmine just going to burrow up here, and we are going to see the factory dropping down a tech lab. So factory drops down a tech lab, a Viking is about to pop from the starport as well. And going to be seeing another barracks on the way up as well. So again, a couple of racks here, factory building a tech lab. Starport is down in the main base too. And this mule going to drop on down and going to start mining away on this mineral line. So mule mining away here. A couple of marines coming down to the low ground, and we're just going to be seeing a Blink, Stalker and Blink on the way up, setting up into this third game. Again, pretty standard, nothing too crazy. Even from KeeN, it's a very standard build order. A couple of tanks here perhaps to kind of apply some decent defense. Make sure nothing crazy will happen to him. He won't die to anything ridiculous in the super early stages of the game. And just sort of go from there, I guess. Reactor comes down on the starport. Barracks actually just going to build his own tech lab, which means he probably will go into a second siege tank. One moment or two I thought maybe he swaps the barracks straight away and he only builds one tank, but he does build the 2. And you see a scan coming down, and this Observer gets shot down almost instantly. So Observer getting shot down, Viking backs away to the right side once again. He's just going to keep patrolling here. Interesting that he built a Viking early instead of the medevac. Just, I mean, obviously it's paid off picking off an Observer, but I mean, usually you don't really see a Viking this early in the game, so it is a little bit different, a little bit weird. It's a little bit strange. Guys, I'm just going to say this preemptively, I can see that we're dropping frames again, so the stream may be a bit stuttery and so on. Again, I apologize, I really just don't know what to do about it, like, I've got no idea, like, it just doesn't ever work, just doesn't love me. My stream hates me, literally. I don't know, it's something to do with the internet and it failing a bit and all the rest of it, so I do apologize. Again, for now, there's not really anything extra I can do about it, so we just sort of have to just live with it. I mean, I just can't change anything right now. I've dropped the bitrate more than it's going to help. Like, there's just nothing else I can change anymore. Reaper continues to scatter around. Team, we do see a couple Stalkers, Immortals, a couple Sentries, and Adepts. 2 of everything right now to the right-hand side. And the Stalkers will blink on forwards to try and deflect the Reaper. Third Nexus was scouted, though. And we're going to see Colossus on the way as a follow-up. Classic with the Robo-Bay down. Just looking to see what the next stage of this is going to be for himself. A few tanks joined up over here from KeeN, and again, Marines and Marauder all gathering up together and looking to see what will happen next. I mean, another gateway just building on up and just getting set and ready to go. So, units still sat at the front here from Classic, and we'll still see the Nexus being Chrono boosted out. So, Nexus being Chronoed, this Colossus comes out and starts to move forwards as well. Again, I mean, looks very similar to the last game. The difference being that KeeN has a lot of siege tanks this time around. He could use those aggressively if he wants to, and just start to move forwards with them. So he's going to move out here and again just look to see what he can do, pushing up the right-hand side. It's again a very powerful push he's got going for himself. The thing is, what Classic is doing is actually very good against this sort of attack, because you've got Colossi very early, you've got a lot of high-tech units, you haven't rushed into the third Nexus, and while he did take the third Nexus early, he didn't take any upgrades early himself, so his double forge just now finishing means that he's definitely been really kind of, producing units for a long time here. Scan comes down, KeeN is going to be laughing, seeing his opponent moving to the right-hand side. Well, now he's going to step forwards, and Classic's going to realize he's a bit out of position as this Colossus goes down very quickly. Tanks are sieged in the back, in fact maybe a bit too far back though. We're going to see Classic going to have to come in and start to fight against this. Pylon goes down, Wouldn't mind about to go off as well as he continues to push on forward. We'll see this tank goes down. Colossus still in the back, and Marines continue to drop here. And we're going to see a blink forwards trying to get rid of the medevac or so. And we're going to see tanks cleaned up. I mean, that's the thing though. Like, Classic was out of position, and we still see him cleaning up this army of KeeN because it's a composition. It's a composition which is able to do that without too much of an issue here overall. Depth continue to push forwards, and we are going to be seeing them just cleaning up a couple more of these Marines right now, and keep on boosting away down this left-hand side. The Classic, he's going to be moving through the top side, and we're going to be seeing these couple of Liberators on the right as well from KeeN, looking to see what else is going on. A few Marines and Marauders still gathering together. A couple of Widow Mines up to the right side as well, Engineering Bay, and an Armory now building as well. So setting up into all of this is down the left. We do see the two medevacs just coming back home and returning from their fight. The thing is though, like, Classic's getting in a good position here to flex these Liberators. Classic's in a good spot. Double upgrades are on the way for him. He didn't lose too much in the fight. He lost one Colossus. The one Colossus, I think, is probably the biggest loss of that fight. Past that, he's still pretty good overall, It's very good overall. Well, Stalkers continue to warp in, and we're going to be seeing the 1-1 upgrades from Classic again. We mentioned those. Again, it just gives him that sort of stability in the game once that 1-1 finishes. Initially the Terran play might be a little bit ahead on upgrades. It's not going to be as far ahead as the last game, though. Last game, KeeN had a good amount of time where he was 1-1 against 0-0. This time, he'll be 1-1 as 1-1 finishes of the Protoss. He will still have the +2 weapon advantage, but he will fall behind on the... He won't fall behind, but he'll be still even on the armor, and so one single upgrade isn't as big of a deal as kind of the double upgrade kind of disadvantage, so not so bad here right now. As you just see these Marines and Marauders pushing up the right-hand side, and KeeN coming up in this direction to see again what's going on, what he can get done. He's going to kick off Stalker here right away, so Stalker does fall. And a couple more gateways starting up Classic to the left side of this main drop of Adepts in towards the third base, and KeeN being kept busy, actually going to pull back a lot to deal with this. Adepts will shade away, Vikings will hunt the War Prism down, and they will get the kill. So Prism dies, and he gets in towards another